Welcome, everyone, to episode 133 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision, 1H1D. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, well, Tom, is Signalis worth our time?
I don't even know what Signalis means, but we're going to get into it.
Yes, we are. So this episode is about the game called Signalis. I hope I'm saying that right. But yes, Signalis. And this game was made by Rose Engine, all lowercase.
Hyphen even.
And hyphenated. Yes, that's the developer here. And this game came out back in October of 2022. This game, for me at least on the PC, was 961.42 megabytes. Tom, what about you?
Ooh, you got MBs. Well, I got GBs over here. 1.4 of them gigabytes.
Good Lord. That
on
is
the Series S.
It's explosive.
50% larger.
Yeah. What's going on there? Well, we won't know.
All that necessary Xbox code. Maybe.
But what isn't a maybe is what kind of game is it?
Well, I put third-person action, but I put the word action in quotation marks.
Ooh, okay. We'll get into that. I put third-person story-based horror game.
Yes, that might be more accurate.
Yeah, it has some horror elements, I feel like, but I could be wrong.
And there's definitely story in there.
Yes, there is. So, what is that game loop, though?
I have explore environments looking for items and clues to open up new environments.
I just wrote progress through rooms to uncover the mystery. There is definitely something going on, and they are very much hiding what's going on. I don't know.
Yes. Yes, there's something going on indeed. And I will start off what I liked about this game by saying I appreciate those moments when you figure out little bits of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's always good to get rewarded by the game that you are playing. And you get that feeling when you start to put the pieces together or solve a puzzle.
Yeah. I definitely felt like Rain Man, like everything, all the pieces are coming together.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, I get it now. And it's like, it was cool. It was a cool feeling. This game definitely rewards you in that way. I gotta say, I like the atmosphere. I think this game has a particular style to it. It is it's very 90s. It's got a 90s feel to it. Very 90s anime too, because there's the characters look very like Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion kind of look and feel to them. And yeah, like then there's like the whole, like, it does look like a PlayStation 1 game in a way with the character models and stuff like that. And then like you even have like a CRT filter that you can turn on in the game, which I thought was kind of neat. Like just they're really like going for it in terms of style. And I really appreciate that about this game.
I want to agree with you that I enjoyed the art they used for like the cutscenes, like the static images. That very manga style artwork was cool.
Definitely.
And I agree. I put it a little bit differently, but the use of sound and music, like it's very minimally used, but it does a good job of highlighting certain scenes or elements. I think the game does a good job of creating tension, which is important if you want to do a horror game like Resident Evil or something like that. You need to create that sense of looming dread.
Definitely.
And this does that.
Yeah. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. This game definitely had that the OG Resident Evil vibes to it too. They even talk about tank controls, like, which you can turn off. You can turn off in this game. So that was nice. That was nice that you could turn them off and play them like a more modern game. So that was really cool to see that. And then like you've got the menu system, just like a Resident Evil. You've got where you can inspect the items that you collect and you do some funky stuff with them, which is like an early puzzle that you had to do. And yeah, I don't know, like it just oozes this kind of style, and I like they really put their elbow in it or something. I don't know, but yeah, that was they definitely went with that, so that was cool. And I agree wholeheartedly. The cutscenes were very cool. Gave me very much. I mean, obviously Resident Evil had their 3D pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff like that, but this gave me more of like the I don't know, like Ninja Gaiden or what, like some kind of vibes of that sort with their, like you said, like static images. So yeah, that was cool. Anything else there that you want to bring up, Tom?
So I felt like it had some like old text-based adventure stuff kind of baked in there too, where it would like give you prompts and you'd have to pick, this or that. It also has like sections where you have to kind of like almost mouse around the screen.
Yep.
Looking for clues and things like that.
Like a mist or something like that.
Yes, exactly. It feels kind of like one of those point and click adventures in places, but also maybe like a DOS-based RPG.
Yeah.
So very retro, interesting way that they combined it all together. So yeah. I thought it worked.
And that was one of the things that I felt added to the mood of the game, the very creepiness, especially when you get into that first person view, because the game is for the most part like kind of isometric-y third person, but like when you go into these point and click modes, it's like a lot of times there's no audio, so you don't know what's going to happen, and you're just clicking through. Like I was honestly just waiting for something to pop out at me in one of these, like kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna like see some creepy doll or something come after me. So yeah, that definitely caused dread. Like, yeah, this game had so much, like there's like the creepiness of that, like these creepy robots that are I don't know if they've gotten corrupted or something, but they're apparently killing everyone in this facility. I don't know. And then there's that one cutscene where like you see the girl's face melt off. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what just happened? What? Why? What? I don't know. It was just so trippy. But apparently it gets even weirder. I don't know.
Do you have anything else that you appreciated before we move on to the things that maybe I didn't appreciate?
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't appreciate either, but
Yeah, No, I think I'm good. Let's move into our dislikes here.
Okay, so right when the game starts up, like things are kind of fuzzy. And so it looks like out of focus, and the menu system and the words are hard to read. And I was like, is something wrong with like my video settings or something? And I pressed the little Xbox home button. It's like, no, everything's fine.
Right.
This is a stylistic choice that's by design. Well, guess what? I didn't like it.
Ooh.
I did not like it. Because it made it hard to. There's like a difference between like the pixel art, which is still very legible and crisp and easy to read.
Sure. And
this filter or whatever that they're doing, where I was like, everything just kind of looks out of focus. It looks like something's wrong with my display.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. But again, I really think they were really going for this whole style. Like you said, but it was like, it reminded me also of, when Kojima did the whole Metal Gear Solid 2, when near the end of the game, he just like ends, it looks like a game over screen, and you're just like, whoa, what the heck happened? And it's not really that the game's over. It's just something like he's messing with you. So I'm expecting something like that to happen in this game too, where like it's just going to be really weird, because there's like flashing images that happen that happen throughout this game, which, in a dislike for me, it is really creepy. This game is really creepy, and it's like, I don't know how much I can, like, my heart could handle all this kind of creepiness. So it's definitely not one for the faint of heart, I would say.
Yes. Speaking of things that hurt my heart, inventory maintenance. You can only carry 6 items. What is that?
Yeah, but I mean, we were early in the game, so there wasn't too many items. But I get what you're saying. We weren't like, you can't stockpile a whole arsenal to take out whatever things come at you. So yeah, I agree that it can be a little lame, but they want to limit you. They want to make you feel that tension in the game. So the one thing, this game is third person, yet somehow, Tom, I have no feet in this game. I don't know if you've noticed that, but your characters are walking essentially on like stilts. It was really weird. I thought that was
weird.
Odd. Yeah.
No, I did not notice that. But I will say, I think the game in general looks bad. I think it's crap. I think it's crappy on purpose. I understand that it's a choice,
right?
But like PS1 games just don't look good. They didn't look good then. I mean, I guess they did, right? Yeah. Like they were like, ooh, Resident Evil at the time is like, oh, look how realistic this looks.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No. If you go back and play those games, not great.
So
Not
like
great.
to try to, I don't know, like when they make like 8-bit and 16-bit games, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this attempt at making something that looks like it was on the PlayStation 1, like the PlayStation 1 didn't age well. I don't know why you would want to do that.
Yeah. Well, there's some great games on the PlayStation 1 that hopefully get a remake. I'm talking to you, Bushido Blade. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah. This game, yeah, I guess, again, I still feel like I thought it looked pretty good for what it was. And look,
I know it's on purpose.
Right,
I know that it's on purpose.
Right.
I just
but it's like, I mean, for a game that was at least on the PC under a gigabyte, I was like, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. So,
yeah.
But the one other thing I will say, there's that initial sequence that happens where you're, I guess, like stranded on a ship. And then all of a sudden you're like taken somewhere else. And I'm like, was there a time skip? Like what just happened? Like what's happening here? Where are we? What is going on? So very strange. I'm like, I kind of like, especially with time, I'm like always like, is this going to like get really crappy with all that? So that was kind of a hesitation of mine. Going through this.
Well, I will say you brought it up in a different kind of context, but
yeah.
I felt like I didn't know what was going on from a gameplay perspective a lot of the time.
Okay.
They don't really give you like instructions on what you're supposed to be doing. And they just kind of like drop you in an environment and you have to like keep opening up your map and going and finding places you haven't been to yet, basically. Right. And then when you get in there, you got to look around for clues and hopefully you put it together because otherwise you're just going to be wandering around for a bit.
Yeah. I hope that later on in the game they don't do this, but I think they did a pretty good job of placing items that are like that can be visible to you right in the screen, as opposed to like the old point and click adventure games where you have to find that exact like pixel to select or highlight, and then that item is like selectable and you can pick it up. Because I remember there was like a couple of areas where your character can go behind some shelves and stuff like that. So I was like, I hope there was no items back there, because that would be really frustrating for me, like to play through that. Like, oh, I missed this one item, therefore I can't go in open this elevator or whatever it is. So
yeah,
but yeah, I hope they don't. But I hope there's not too many jump scares too. But at least by the time that they started the jump scares or tried to do jump scares, I had a gun to protect myself. So.
Yes. I know exactly which sequence you're talking about because I reacted the same way. And because you don't have a whole lot of items, I definitely wasted a bunch of bullets.
Oh, as soon as I had the gun, I just had it aimed the whole time, just walking slowly everywhere. That's, that was my method of calming my nerves a little bit. But speaking of which, do we have any other thoughts here on this game, Tom?
Well, I will say that this development on this game started way back in 2014.
Oh, wow.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's so the Rose Engine, which is a German studio, is two whole people. So that might explain why this game looks and plays the way it does. But they did get assistance from some musical composers with the audio there. And interviews with these two individuals state that Stanley Kubrick, Hideki Anno, you mentioned Evangelion earlier, and David Lynch, which I totally see, were all cited as inspirations for the theme and the plot of this game. So you can kind of like imagine those directors in your head, and then even if you never turned on the game, you can kind of imagine how this game might look and play.
Definitely can see those things. And the one thing, I don't know if it's a dislike, but it is. But now that you explain that it is a German studio that did this, the fact that I felt like there was a mix of German and Japanese kanji letters, and I was like, what is going on? What is this world? Like, what is the dominant language here? Because those are two very different ways of speaking to people and writing even. So I don't know. It was,
what it could be? Do you remember Serenity? Firefly?
Yeah.
How their future is Chinese mixed with English.
Oh, I forgot.
They envision a future where the two powers mix together and the language is an amalgamation of both.
Interesting.
Perhaps in this world, Germany and Japan are the two powers that manifest the future.
They won World War II. Wow. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, maybe that's even what it is.
Wow. Think about that. Yeah, that can make sense. But what else I can tell you about this game is this game is on Xbox Cloud, and it is cloud playable with a controller, and it has cloud saves and all that good stuff. How long to beat says this game takes about 9 hours to beat.
That's not too bad.
No, not a very long game at all. Definitely over a weekend you could beat this game. And yeah, that's what I got here, Tom. Now, we do have to give our final thoughts, though, don't we?
Yes, but before we do,
we have to let you know about our sponsor, cdkeys.com. Thank you so much, cdkeys.com. And you can help us out by click on the link in our description to get any really cool stuff from cdkeys.com, like Game Pass subscriptions or deals of the day. They got everything. 90 games even for 90% off. That's a nice.
That's almost free.
It's almost free. So check them out, cdkeys.com. Now, Tom.
Yes.
What are we doing with Signalis?
Well, I will tell you something, and it may not be too surprising. I thought this game was incredibly slow paced. It looks like a PlayStation 1 game. It has an archaic save and inventory management mechanics.
That's right.
I have no desire to keep playing this.
Oh my goodness. Oh man.
But I think you may be a little bit more favorable based on your tone.
Yeah, well, I actually jumped into your stream a little bit, Tom, and I was like, I was like, the way that you're playing this game was like, oh, he's not gonna like this game at all. He's not gonna like this. Just the way you're playing, I was like, yeah, that's not gonna be a game. It's gonna be a total miss. I would be surprised. I would have been surprised if you said you liked this game, but I could not stop thinking about this game after I put it down, and I need to know what the heck happens. So I am definitely going back. In fact, I might even do a long stream on our stream, because it is a creepy game, and I know how people love to watch people scream in terror. So there's that. So those are my thoughts, and those are both of our thoughts. So let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D, or check out our streams. Check out our streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/1H1D, because we do those things. We play these games, and you can talk to us sometimes, and
you can talk to Chris.
You can talk to Tom. You can try to talk to Tom. He just won't respond.
Nope.
But if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, send us a comment down below. Or if you see us, if you're on Spotify, hit that subscribe. And, we might post a question that you can answer too. That'd be kind of cool. 1H1D is part of that QTB network. And if you like any kind of cool gaming podcast or other cool content.
Yeah, like merch.
Oh, like merch. Yes, Tom, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. We have our Game Pass journal that is there too. Check out and purchase, because those are always great for people that like to write stuff down. And so, yeah, check this out. Check out all that stuff at quitthebill.com/network. Now, Tom, we need to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
Yes, but I have a feeling the surprise me button is not involved.
It is on hiatus for the following week, because we are actually having a guest come on the show, the Elder Scrolls Gaming Podcast. They're bringing along a game called Exo Primal for us to check out. So that's what we're going to be checking out with them. And that's it for this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.